Welcome to another episode of Face to Face. Yours truly, Mr. Ken. Today we have two special guests in the studio. We might as well call it the Barton reunion. My boys from Cloud Barton High School. We got Julius, aka JJ.
What's going on?
And my boy Khaleed. What's going on?
Chilling, man.
How y'all been doing?
Good,
You
man.
good?
Busy.
I see y'all making some big moves after high school, man. Yeah, tell me about it. So you, Kai, you've been you're doing teaching with the kids, right?
Yeah, I work in school.
Good. Yeah.
I'm in the school system, DOE.
What's up?
Doing third grade. I've always felt that I was going to be working with kids some way, somehow. I always dedicated my summers back in the days, either playing ball, or summer camp. So, yeah.
Okay.
I never thought it would end up being teaching, but you know what? I'm happy it is.
What grades?
I have elementary school. So I teach third grade this year.
Third grade this year. Okay.
Yeah.
And so with the pandemic, how does that affect everything?
Well, last year when the pandemic first hit, we was remote, strictly remote.
Yeah.
But I came back into the building this September.
Yeah.
So I've been in the building since. It's different.
Yeah.
Because we have 7 students in the class, and it's like everything else is on remote. But for the most part, it's good to see the kids, interact with some of my staff.
Right.
So it's we're making it do, man. We're making it do.
Okay. What's up, Jay? How about you? You're like you're like in the nursing field, right?
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's going good.
You're in the heat of everything.
Yeah. It's going good in terms of, I'm blessed to still have a job during the pandemic.
Right.
A lot of people lost their jobs. So blessed to still have kept all of mine. I teach at LIU Brooklyn. I'm actually the chair for the School of Nursing now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Professor over there. I got my own practice, home-based primary care.
Yeah.
President of the Great New York City Black Nursing Association, so that keeps me busy.
Yeah.
And I still coach football, which is amazing.
Oh yeah.
That takes up a whole lot of my time. The season was canceled last year, but we back on it this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What school do you do?
No, Brooklyn Skyhawks.
Brooklyn Skyhawks. Okay.
Team.
And you took the vaccine? I was actually that before I came.
Yeah, absolutely.
Johnson & Johnson?
Absolutely.
You scared about what you heard about Johnson & Johnson?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Bro, it was 6 cases out of 7.3 million people. You have a higher chance of tripping when you walk out of here and dying from that trip.
Wow.
Than you do of getting the blood clot from that vaccine. But it was politics behind it. I understand why they did it. It was more so because of what another vaccine was doing in across the country. And I think because they don't publicize some of the other stuff with vaccines, that when something happens with one of the good ones, people are paused. Meaning, the vaccines that we hear about aren't the only ones that was in development. There were ones that was in development that they told them you're not going to do it.
So we didn't know about the 3 one was just Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson, but they had other ones, right?
So there was Merck.
Yeah, Merck was trying.
Yeah, they failed. The vaccine trial failed, right? Like, but you don't hear about it.
Yeah.
And the government pretty much told them, like, no, that's a wrap. Like, you can stop doing that.
Yeah.
So those 3 are available here in America.
Yeah.
Outside of America, the one that's really being used is AstraZeneca. And AstraZeneca is similar to Johnson & Johnson, meaning the way that it's made. And it was causing blood clots over there. So I think the government just wanted to be safe and take a look at it, but they could have did it without shattering vaccine confidence. Like, they could have just pulled the cases, say, we're reviewing them. If somebody gets a blood clot, this is what you look for, and don't treat it with heparin. But they didn't. Instead, like, the actual government file says, we're recommending the pausing of it while we review it. It doesn't even say that you have to stop it.
Right.
Like, that's what it actually says. But people just look at it and like, oh, Johnson & Johnson is terrible. We not. So
because Johnson & Johnson they have like a bad name. Remember with the whole talc thing with the powder with the kids and other things. Yeah,
it wasn't. See, that's another thing that people. It wasn't talc powder with kids. It was just some cases they felt like it caused cancer in women, ovarian cancer. So it wasn't that it did something to kids. It caused ovarian cancer.
Yeah.
But then that's a whole nother conversation we gotta have off mic about how black people used powder when we was growing up, places that we were never supposed to use it.
Oh wow, I never knew about that. Yeah,
you as a kid, you had powder put all over you as a child.
Yeah.
We all did. That's not the purpose of powder, right?
Yeah, people thought it was to keep us cool.
Keep us cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Or the fresh smell. Right?
So it's but that's an off mic conversation.
You got the vaccine?
No, I didn't. My parents did though.
I did. Oh,
yeah,
they didn't. Since you're working with kids, they didn't tell you to, some jobs.
Well, some of the staff have.
Okay.
Some of the staff have, but I'm still considering it.
Yeah.
My parents both they both did. My mom did the Moderna. My dad did the Pfizer. So and they both going strong. They're good.
Yeah.
So I mean. Eventually, I think I'm gonna have to do it because, like I said, I'm in the field. By the grace of God, I haven't been affected with no cases. People been around me,
Amazing.
Catching the cases and stuff like that. And I've been trying to keep myself safe. But I have a young daughter.
Yeah.
I know Jay got a young daughter as well. So at the end of the day, we just got to make sure that we're doing the right thing for them.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I haven't taken it yet because I
just not, you don't trust the science.
You don't trust the science. There you go, Jay.
At least that's the honest
I don't trust the
answer,
science.
At least you're not coming up with a whole bunch of conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people. I'm like, yo, look, my only goal is to educate my people to make informed decisions.
Yeah.
Once you have the right information, whatever you decide to do, that's on you, and I'm okay with it.
Facts.
But you got people posting bullshit like, oh, there's no vaccine for HIV. There's no vaccine for the common cold. There's no vaccine for cancer, but there's a vaccine for this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, first off, there's a vaccine for HIV. It's in trials, right? Second, there's medication that you can literally take once a day that guarantees you won't contract HIV if you have sex with somebody.
Wow.
We call it PrEP. There's a medication you can take once a day for a couple of weeks. If you have sex with somebody with HIV, you start taking it right away, it guarantees you won't get HIV.
How come they don't let us know about these things? Wow.
They call PrEP and PEP, right? Pre-exposure prophylaxis, post-exposure prophylaxis.
Yeah.
But they exist. It's called Truvada. You've probably seen the commercials.
Yeah, Truvada, I heard about it. Yeah.
That's exactly what Truvada is, right? And then I'm like, there's literally a vaccine for the common cold. It's called the flu vaccine.
Flu vaccine, yeah.
Right? Like, it's literally the vaccine for the four most common viruses that cause the common cold, literally. Then there's cancers that also have vaccines, like the HPV vaccines. They tell little girls to get it.
Yeah, that's true.
We tell boys to get
it. For that.
Prevent cervical cancer.
Right.
Like there's other treatment of people that they get breast cancer, and then after they get like surgery, they take a pill once a day for a couple years. Guarantees that they're not going to have breast cancer. So I'm like, all this exists. Y'all just peddling bullshit.
Yeah.
But if after you know the science and you like, yo, I'm not taking it. Cool, no problem.
Yeah.
Right. Only other thing I say is, all right, if you know it, if you change your mind, like with Kyle over here, he's like, I'm not ready to get it.
Yeah.
But if he changed his mind, it's like, yo, he want to get Pfizer.
Right.
And I'm running this Pfizer vaccine clinic. I'm like, yo, holla at me so you can get an appointment.
Do you get to choose a vaccine? A lot of people said when you go, do whatever they have available, that's what you get. Or do you get to choose which one you want? Moderna, Johnson & Johnson.
So it's how you play the system. Just meaning, technically, no, you don't get to choose.
You don't get to choose, okay.
We black. We deserve the right to choose for what this government and healthcare system has done to us.
Right.
So you look around for the one that you want. So when people tell me, oh, I want the vaccine, the first thing I say to them, which one you want?
Yeah.
And they go, what do you mean by that? I'm like, I know what I offer. If it's not what you want, I'm not going to tell you to come get it.
Right, yeah.
Right? So, because we're running Pfizer today. When we have pop-ups, when Johnson & Johnson is back, we might be giving Johnson & Johnson or we might be giving Moderna.
Because a lot of people want the Johnson & Johnson because it was just one shot, yeah. Because some people say that you take the first shot, you're all right. The second shot kind of make you kind of pass out or dizzy or something like that, or vice versa.
It makes you have like symptoms of COVID.
Yeah.
And it depends on... So some of this, and this is anecdotal, if you had COVID, they say that after the first shot, you're going to feel like shit. The second shot, you're much better. If you didn't have COVID, it's that second shot that really knocks you down.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So.
Before you came, me and Kyle was talking. He said after he left high school, his mind changed a little bit. If you were the person who you are right now, your mindset back then, you'd be totally different, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, I mean, it's I mean, it's so crazy because I still like bump into guys like, you know, Jimmy and Pierre from. He graduated a couple of years younger than us.
Yeah.
And they was like going on a basketball team, and I mean, for some strange reason, I was told I was like a monster, man. I was like, yo, if you don't pass me the ball, like, you know, I was crazy. Like, I was ball hungry. I don't know.
Let's talk about that, Jay.
You know?
Let's talk about the Barton days in the basketball.
So it's like, I mean, at least for basketball, I mean, the way, like I said, I mean, I coach as well. I mean, I coach for my 11 basketball team.
Oh, my 11, okay.
And, yeah.
Dope.
So, you know, right now we've been out of commission since, you know, last March, you know, so we haven't been doing anything.
Yeah.
You know, so we got to wait to see what happens with us in September. But as far as basketball back then in Barton, I'm like, man, I used to probably want to dribble y'all heads off. I don't want to
Look at JJ looking like,
you know, like, I mean, I don't know. I listen, like I said, I hear it, and it's just like, oh, I was that bad? Because it's like now I'm telling some of them same students, like, don't be that guy, you know, don't be that guy. You know, it's a team effort.
You were that guy, yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely that guy.
Yeah.
I think that's our fault, though, right? Meaning, like when Kai was a junior, we were all seniors, right? The majority of the people on the team were seniors, right? So the next year, you ain't got no help.
That's a fact,
right? Like you know, like Kai went from starting or being the sixth man, right? Like coming, like he can contribute immediately.
Yeah.
To now, it's like, wait, before I just had to contribute, I gotta run all of this.
Run all of it.
Like
yeah.
I know how that feels, right? So, and you know what's crazy when you was yelling, "Pass me the ball." I don't know if you remember this. It was one time I can't remember who we was playing, and I don't know if I was in a bad mood or what it was. But I kept yelling at you like, yo, Kyle, what are you doing? And you, like, he comes out the game, he like, yo, tell JJ stop yelling at me, right?
I think that was a Benjamin Banneker game.
But yo, listen, right?
You remember that game?
Yo, listen, Coach Sprons puts him right back in the game, right? Like, so he brings Kai out for like 30 seconds, and Kai's like, I can't operate with JJ yelling at me. 30 seconds later, Kai goes, yo, Julius, Coach said come out the game.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think I remember that. That was Benjamin Banneker game.
Yo, we had some good days, man. Like I was telling Shaw before you got here, it's like just to see the evolution that we made within me being there my sophomore year, you know, and then the junior year, you guys, we had that team, and it was like everything fell into place just for us to go make it over that hump. You know, and you know the next year was. I mean, it was challenging for me.
What year did you get in first? What year did you got on the team?
I only played 1 year, my senior year.
He played senior year.
And you got on your freshman year.
Freshman year, wow, I made the team. Freshman year, I made the team, but I didn't play it because I knew it was no playing time. Mm-hmm. You understand? And Marcus at the time was the
Marcus,
point
Jermaine,
guard. You know, Marcus and Jermaine,
Khaleed.
exactly. So I already knew what time it was.
Right.
You understand? And then my sophomore year, I was like, okay, you know what? I can see what's going on here. And then my junior year was just that was the perfect time because it was just like, you know, we all hung out in school all the time. So it's like playing basketball was just like hanging out. So it was perfect. Like I said, it was like I could only do that to JJ, being that I was the underclassman. Yeah. Because we knew each other like that. You understand? Like we grew up in the same neighborhood. So anybody else, oh no, I wasn't gonna be able to do that. You know?
You remember that time we went to Automotive and those dudes went to fight us afterwards? It was on the train. He was like, yo,
we
that was the shit. But that was the story of our lives.
No,
you forget we went to Clyde Barton.
Yeah.
Even if they had 2 girls there, they was a threat.
We went to that school, small gym, graffiti everywhere.
It started because when we played them at our house, we played them like the 3rd game of the season. Yeah. Remember we bust open George Jefferson.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And like we bust his head open, and then they was like, oh, he's like, you ain't gonna do shit. Yeah. Right? Like you ain't gonna do nothing. Like meet me on the Ave.
Facts.
Right? They remember that. Yeah.
They ain't want no problems. And then they point guard didn't play that game. So when we played them at Jeff, we was like, yo, who's this dude? And then he almost dunked on Dexter. Yeah. I don't know if y'all remember that. And then afterwards, they was like, we want to fight. And we was like, yo, we in a bad mood, so we could fight anyway, right? Like,
I remember they followed us to the train and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like, oh, shit. Man. Yeah.
Good times.
It was good times, man.
When you ain't have no care in the world, man.
Yeah.
You know, it was just... it was just your boys and ball.
And that was Branson's first year, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
First year.
Yo,
I tried to go back to see him, but they won't. They had a game, but they just won't let anyone coming to the school.
Recently?
This is like 3 years ago.
I went up there.
He's still there?
Fall 2019. I think he's retiring or just retired. I went up there I didn't see him. I went there in the summertime. Yeah. I was seeing patients driving around. I was like, you know what? Like, let me stop. Mm-hmm. So like I walk in like, yo, who the principal, right?
Yeah.
Like security, like, what are you talking about? Yo, school stuff. I'm like, yo, I need to talk to somebody. Like, I'm alumni. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna talk to somebody, right? And it was like, what do you mean you're alumni? Because I'm also dressed in like hood attire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell me, hold on, wait. My name Dr. Julius Johnson, right? Like, I'm class of 2001, and they're like, oh, hold on, let's get the principal.
Right.
And like they get the principal.
Was it still Foster?
No.
Oh,
she retired. She retired a couple years ago.
Okay.
I forgot the name of the guy. I got his card.
It was not what's his name, right? It wasn't the ghost, right?
Who's the ghost?
The guy with the white hair. His first name was Joseph.
Oh, I forgot.
No.
In the staircase, he was the assistant principal that became the principal.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, wow.
This somebody that's not. He wasn't there at all.
He wasn't there.
Nah, but so they're like, oh, you went to Barton, and like I look up because they renamed the. Is it the principal suite? Something they renamed and named Alistair. So Alistair was somebody that was
I heard. He died in the pool. He drowned in the pool.
In the camp upstate, I think.
Because when we had a Spark versus thing, they had his name on the jerseys. Yeah.
So I was like, I went to school with Alistair. Yeah. Right? And that was the crazy thing because me, Jamal, Ryan, Alistair, and it was another dude named Laval. I don't know if y'all remember Laval. Okay. Right? We had all made a pact freshman year that we was all gonna get on the ball team together. Like we was in Lefferts Parks balling one day, the five of us. We was running 5-on-5, like just us. And people was like, y'all all go to Barton? Y'all all on the team? He was like, nah, only Jamal and Ryan. It was like, yo, y'all got something. Like all 5 of y'all should be on this team. Yeah. And I was like, all right, we gonna get on it. And then Alistair drowned over the summertime, and I was like, yo, I'm not playing ball. And then one of the biggest reasons I played ball senior year was because Ryan was fucking up in school. Yeah. I'm like, yo, Ryan, you get your shit together, I get on the team. And Ryan was like, I can do that. That's not a problem. Ryan got his shit together. I got on the team. And we ended up going to the playoffs, and Ryan graduated on time and ended up winning Comeback Kid of the Year award, which was real dope.
Well, one thing with Barton is like when Ryan was active, Jamal wasn't there. They were never basically there at the same time,
except for the last like 3 games, which is how we got into the playoffs.
But then we lost to Beacon. That's the first game, right? We lost. That thing was killing us. What they did at that game?
Yeah, it was both of them.
Damn, we still lost to them.
Ryan fouled out.
Man.
Ryan fouled out.
What was that dude's name again?
We kept our turnovers down too.
Yeah. You know what's crazy though? We would have been asked out if we won that game because it was senior trip. Yeah. We was all going to Florida.
Oh.
I would have had to carry. I would have had to carry you guys. But then again, our probably was go to the senior trip too.
Yeah. You know which loss I couldn't believe we lost to when we lost to. I don't want to say those white boys. Ghost team.
Yeah,
Kingsborough. We had to travel all the way down there. I don't know how we lost to them.
But then we spanked them to get in the playoffs.
To get in the playoffs. We beat them the first time, then they beat us the second time, and then the tiebreaker.
Yeah, we punished them. That's what Jamal and Ryan both played that game.
Yeah.
Because we had a tough little schedule there because we had to play like that team, little Bow Wow team.
Oh, something from
Bushwick, the dude with the crazy dribble. Yeah,
we
got his name.
Bushwick, we played Maxwell. We played
Maxwell, ENC, EBCNY, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you remember, we played Erasmus one time in the scrimmage game. Erasmus.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had a couple.
Then we got blown out in Barton by one of these guys.
No, we played we played Prospect Heights in the scrimmage. Y'all remember that?
Prospect Heights.
We put it on. That's when whatchamacallit was still coaching. Before he had his leg amputated. What's the original coach name?
Scarborough.
Yeah. That's what we would have had a squad with Scarborough because he actually had plays. Bronze was a
soccer coach.
Yes, he's a soccer coach. Mm-hmm. We had 2 plays that we ran all year long.
All year long.
He's coming with that giant jacket.
After that, it was just everybody just go out there and just try to do something.
Yeah, legit, just talent.
Yeah,
straight up.
It was good old days, man. What do you guys remember like from going to Cloud Barton though? Some good memories you guys remember?
Yo, you know what's funny? One of my first memories of Barton was fam, Franklin Ave used to be blooded out. And like when I tell people this, they did not know. They like, no, it wasn't. What do you fam, it was blooded. When Bloods first hit New York, Franklin Avenue was non-trade. Face, love. Mm-hmm. And now it was just like, yo, you got to know somebody to walk across this. Right? Like,
shit about Sal's.
I was just talking about that the other day.
Sal's.
That's my memory.
Sal's is still there?
Still there. That's my memory of Clyde Barton. Them Sal, Dollar Heroes. Hooky parties,
hooky parties.
Trying not, bro.
Don't get booked by Chauncey, which was on the backside of the school.
Oh man,
Debo, Tim, Ma, it's all of them, man.
So my mom's was a sergeant in school safety. Mm-hmm. Nelson told her when I graduated, he's like, thank the Lord that your son and his friends are gone.
Really? Wow.
But you know what's so crazy is no matter how far I went in life, things still connected back to Barton. Like you have no idea how many people I know that knows Kai. Right? Like they're like, yo, my big bro Khaleed, right? Like I'm not sure, you know Andrew Bennett.
Yeah.
Right? So I end up pledging Kappa, right? But like by the time I pledged, Drew was already a Kappa, and I'm looking at him like, this young motherfucker. And he like, yo, he's like, yo, you went to Barton? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, you went to Barton? He's like, yeah. So I'm like, yo, you ever seen ING tagged on the walls? He's like, yeah, I used to see that all over the walls. I'm like, yeah, that was me. That was us. Right? He like, you know Khaled? I'm like, yeah, that's the bro. He's like, yo, that's my big bro. I'm like, yeah.
What, Khaled?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, wow.
A bunch of people.
You know, when you say Khaled, I think about, remember Big Dread?
Not
Preacher. I used to,
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Khaled. Like,
wow.
Like my boy Capo, Josie.
Yeah.
No, Khaled, like all of them.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, you know Khaled? I'm like, yeah, that's my guy.
Khaled, you were like the dude with the swag in the school, son. Like, yeah, he was that.
It was like, especially after
all the girls just like Khaled. He was a fly guy. People thought he was a class clown too.
It was, man. Listen, man. I wore many hats, but I mean, Barton definitely. Like I said, I mean, even JJ was like he was my big bro, man. He was the one. He pulled me in at ING. You know, at the end of the day, he always made sure he's like, yo, make sure you do your shit, yo. when I leave here, you make sure you do your thing. You know, and that was important for me because, you know, that's the thing. I gravitated to the upperclassmen because I didn't have any older siblings, anything like that. You understand? So you know, when they took me in, it was all cool. Yeah. But it was kind of bad because I felt like I spent my first 3 years with you guys, or you know, with Jermaine and them, Marcus and them, and then it was like my senior year.
You know him for your freshman year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jump. Damn.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. When I first came in, a lot of people thought I already was they thought I was a transfer, even though I was young and stuff like that. They thought I was a transfer.
What made you go to Barton though?
Well, my mom wanted me to be a nurse. To be honest with you, she wanted me to be a nurse. She thought she was like, yo, that profession right now. I'm telling you right now, that's where you need to be. Granted, right? Granted, but I don't know. For some strange, like I said, my mindset wasn't on doing things like that, you know. And then
what you find out, a lot of girls, the girls ratio.
What? Then there was a whole bunch of girls there, and then it was just like, you know. But then I used to go to camp all the time, like you said. I said, I used to go to camp, so I knew I was gonna be probably working with kids in some way, some form, you know. So that's how it planned out.
And you went to Barton because of the program. You went to be a nurse.
You know what's crazy? I also went there. My older sister was going there, but my older sister and my two cousins, Jerry and Gerald, we all went to junior high school together. Yeah, and like we was just staggered behind each other.
Right.
So like Gerald and Jerry went to transit. I originally got into transit. I was gonna go to transit.
Right.
But then I was like, I want to go to Barton. Right. I originally didn't get into Barton. My mom's knew Principal Foster. Yeah. She wasn't the principal at the time. She just worked there. Yeah. She called and got me.
Because Resnick was
Resnick, but
Resnick was.
And then he died as soon as we got in. Yeah, passed away.
He passed away. Like I remember we had a dance, and when we came back from the dance, we had a dance the Friday. We had a break. Yeah. When we came back, everybody was like, Mr. Reagan passed me. Like, what?
Yeah, he caught a heart attack on his driving or something like that.
It was crazy.
We had a lot of deaths in Barton, bro.
Yeah. I went to Barton. I wasn't supposed to go to Barton. I was supposed to go to Midwood because I went to Huddy, and then it's like my zone school was Midwood. My uncle used to go to Barton, and he was like, "Yo, you don't want to go as a freshman. You don't know what they do to freshmen. They throw you down the stairs." He got me all scared. He's like, "Yo, come to Barton. I'll take care of you, whatever." I went to Barton. As soon as I got there, he got expelled.
Oh, God.
Kojo.
Oh, what?
Yeah. I know you probably heard stories about him.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. That was my guy.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's how I ended up at Barton. I didn't want to do anything with the nursing field or anything like that.
So,
and I got there, I was like, hey.
Barton got so much more than the nursing field, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like they had the medical assistant program, the dental programs.
And I think it's one of the best Head Start schools as far as like, being able to graduate with your LPN,
right.
Whatever, anything like that. I felt like a lot of our female friends that took advantage of the. Yeah. If you see them now,
it's like they're
exceeding, doing really well.
Doing really well.
So that's to commend, Barton, those professors that we had there. They made sure that, and then plus the parents, of course, keeping them on track and stuff like that. So I mean, I definitely felt like, we learned a lot. Even if you didn't do the program a lot you were still able to, branch off and do something with yourself.
Did they say the school is turning a little bit bad now and they're trying to break it up? Something like that?
Somewhat. They said they was threatening to break it up. Y'all remember Linda? I know she was teaching over there for a minute. I'm not sure if she's still teaching.
I know Linda.
When I went there, they were asking me like, "Yo, would y'all be interested in coaching the basketball team?" And I'm like,
"Man, it's so crazy because I reached out to Miss Shepard, and Miss Shepard I don't think she's at the school anymore, but I remember Miss Shepard was trying to get the Spark game, but there was some issue with security because they had to get a permit or something like that, whatever the case may be. So she was trying to get me to get like an alumni team and stuff like that. But
Shepherd.
That was a few years. Miss Shepard.
That's the black who owned the track team?
No.
That's Bishop. That's Bishop. Okay, I was getting
Miss Shepard is the one that had Spark. She had ran the Spark
Yeah.
Yeah, so when we tried to do like an alumni Spark game. Yeah. She had reached out to me and stuff like that, but it was a lot of politics. It never really happened. So I actually offered to see if we could try to do it outside, you know, but. What
happened to Miss Slade? She was very strict on people.
No, you know what's so crazy? I bumped into Miss Slade at jury duty.
Really?
And I got to meet the real Miss Slade. I'm telling you, Miss Slade was cool. She's cool.
She was cool, but she stayed on top of you. You didn't have your grades right?
Yeah.
You couldn't get that team.
Nah, let me tell you
Give me that jersey.
Give me that jersey. That was her thing. Give me that jersey. You can't. She's like, how you gonna fail? How you fail in gym?
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, how you fail in gym though? Like, you want to play a sport, you failing.
You met her, wow.
But yeah, Miss Lage was mad cool. We ended up going. We served 2 days of jury duty together. That was kind of cool. Get to see how at first she ain't try to act like she ain't know me, but then she's like, oh, I know you. But, and Miss, she was the other Miss Alfonso.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I see her all the time in the summertime because she likes steel pan and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
She be at the pan yard.
The pan yard.
Yeah.
I remember when we made the playoffs. Miss Lage was the happiest I've ever seen her.
Because she said she's been through all those years and the team always hard.
She's like 20 plus years and y'all finally in the playoffs.
Trying to win playoffs.
And a home game for the playoffs.
And a home game for the playoffs. Fact.
Yeah.
Jim was rocking.
Yeah.
Man. That was the most I seen the cheerleaders all uniformed up too.
Yeah. I was gonna say, we gotta do something where we get like a reunion together or something.
We do. Technically, this is supposed to be our 20th anniversary. Next year is your 20th.
Yeah. For you, the 20th anniversary. For us, next year is our 20th anniversary.
But with COVID and everything, maybe we do something joint together next year.
Yeah. Listen, everybody.
I remember you did a joint a couple of years ago. What's like 15 or whatever. You did like a nice thing by the water.
Yeah.
Remember you did an event?
Yeah.
You probably don't remember that.
I don't exactly, but I remember we used to do stuff.
Yeah.
They'd be like, yo, let's get people from Barton.
And Dumbo, like Dumbo and stuff like that. You did a joint over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm down with anything, man.
Yeah.
Y'all still talk to other people from your class?
Yeah. I mean, it's social media. Still see people post, like, and still talk to them.
Yeah, I same here. Same. It's so crazy. I was just talking to Ducky the other day.
Yeah, Ducky.
Seen Duck talking to him on Facebook the other day. But I'm actually, like I was just telling Nessa earlier, but I'm on a WhatsApp with our class.
That's
2002. Pearl had set it up. So, I've been reaching out and stuff like that. So people have been, chatting back and forth, but we ain't really active because, people just been busy and stuff like that. So hopefully, summertime, when things slow down a little bit more and things are opening up a little more, we'll figure something out.
That's crazy.
What was the other dude that was on the team? Colin. What's with Colin?
Colin?
Good. You good?
Colin.
Colin
Elliott.
I think he was
drama. He was on the team.
He was on the team.
Oh yeah, he was a hang with us. He used to be around us so much. I thought he was on the team. Yeah,
that's my guy.
He's good.
That's what. Like 2 months ago, I was coming together. Colin's good.
And Jamal and everyone
got his own business. Jamal's good.
I saw Ryan one time. I bumped into Ryan. I think he had
photography.
Koyan and his kids in them.
Ryan good. I ain't talked to Ryan in a minute though, but Cozy real good. I be talking to Cozy. Cozy wife actually one of my students now.
Yeah,
she got her nurse practitioner degree.
Okay,
which is real dope. She also took care of my godfather when my godfather came out the hospital, and didn't know it until we started talking afterwards.
Yeah.
Crazy how small the world is.
You still talk to anyone from your class as well?
Ologies.
Yeah.
Amanda, of course.
Yeah.
Is my best friend. I'm her godfather. Well, we're each other's godparents to our children.
Yeah.
Who else?
I see Dexter doing a thing on the news.
Yes. I did a couple of interviews with Dexter.
Yeah.
We was actually all together for Buki funeral.
Yeah.
Right.
Someone passed away?
Buki.
That was
me and Buki used to go out in my junior year.
Oh wow!
Into my senior year, yeah. But then me and Buki also went to college together.
Wow!
You know what I'm saying? Then we ended up working at the same spot afterwards too.
Yeah.
So like that was hard on the class.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But a lot of us showed up. Tati had came up, which was our first time seeing her in a minute because she's been in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So it's the love is still there.
Yeah.
Which is the biggest and dopest thing.
Yeah.
Then it's good to see each other. Like I see Jermaine on Instagram. Like we'll talk. He down in the VA area.
Yeah.
So seeing those people, talking to them, like that's always dope, man.
Same here.
What's up with Big Boy? What's his name? He's to hang out and practice with us too.
Giggy.
Giggy. I see him a little bit on Instagram.
I actually was in Cali, but we didn't get to link up, but we did speak.
Yeah.
We didn't link up because we know how sometimes when you're going out there on vacay, you got your own little plans and stuff like that. So we didn't get to link immediately. But Giggy, I'm gonna definitely link you next time I'm out there, bro.
Yeah, he does like film or something. What is he into?
I think he's doing like
tech, video, games.
Video. Okay, I remember he's
tech, yeah, which is dope. I mean, like Giggy followed his dream to out there.
Yeah,
like he's like, I want to do this. He's big on it. Then he's like, cool, I'm out and I'm gone.
Yeah,
right. So I'm just like, yo, that's dope, man. Like it's it's dope seeing people from like you just got a special bond with those people from high school.
Yeah.
Right. Like I remember like when I went away to college, my godfather's like, yo, your college friends are gonna be like your friends for the rest of your life. And a lot of them are, but just my bond for what we went through in Barton is just it's different. Right? Like we went through some real shit.
Yeah.
And not only that too, we sometimes, like you said, we don't see each other in how God know how long, and we just pick up like.
Last time I saw you probably remember crop over.
Oh,
you forgot that in Barbados. I saw you crop over. We were in the Gap.
Yeah, man.
It's you and your girl at the time, right?
Yeah, that was my child.
Oh yeah, so yeah, that was like 2016 or 17 or something like that.
Hopefully, we'll be back out in them back in Barbados soon. Man.
Yeah.
Barbados may not let y'all in if y'all not vaccinated.
Right. Right. My dad just went to Grenada and he's still in quarantine right now.
Really?
And he got the vaccine. I told you he got the vaccine.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they said my homegirl, my neighbor, she's gonna go back to Trinidad. They told her if you get vaccinated before you come, you don't gotta quarantine. Wow. If you're not fully vaccinated, you got quarantine even if you test negative. So, I mean, but you got to understand, they don't have the healthcare system we have, right? Like, you spread that virus there, people going to die like the plague.
That's true.
Like, you can't.
Is that true, though? The heat kills, the people saying that the heat kills the whole COVID thing. That's why a lot of people don't have it.
Yeah, the numbers are down. That's what apparently
It's not necessarily that it kills it, right? It's just harder for it to travel.
Gotcha.
Right? Like, you ever been talking to somebody in the winter and like you can see like this spit projecting out of their mouth, right?
Yeah.
But you can have the same conversation in the summer and you don't see it as much. It's just the air is much more humid and thicker, so it's harder for it to pass.
Got you.
Right, like that. So it's just that. Plus, also when you in the summer in the sun, you're getting a constant amount of vitamin D, right? And certain levels of vitamin D can protect you. It don't protect you from everything, but it just can't.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just certain things that just work. You know. Another good excuse to have your toes in the sand.
Yeah. You heard it from Dr. Julius.
Facts.
All right, before we wrap it up, guys, I want to talk about sports real quick. What do you think about the NBA? Brooklyn's taking it all the way?
I'm a LeBron James fan.
Oh.
So my heart is in LA right now.
LA right now?
I mean,
I heard Aldridge is out. He retired some heart thing. He got a heart problem.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
He actually he was diagnosed with irregular heartbeat from years ago. You know, he said this one basically felt like, you know, different than before.
Yeah.
So he just felt like it was time to pack it up because, you know, he's 35 years old. I mean, he's played, 12 years in the, not even more?
Yeah,
about 15 years in the league or something like that. And, I mean, obviously he gave Brooklyn, this was the best situation for him to win the championship. But listen, no championship is more important than your health. You know?
Right.
Especially when you have kids and stuff like that. I think before he was able to deal with it because, you know, he didn't have kids, he didn't have that commitment. But now that, you know, he's family man, he got to make sure he's out there. Chris Bosh, you know.
Yeah, Chris Bosh, yeah.
Chris Bosh. You know, sometimes you just got to do it, man. But how I feel about the NBA right now, I mean, it's exciting, man. It's so much young, great players. When I say, I mean, you got Luka Doncic. My bad.
Yeah.
You got Luka Doncic. You got Jay. It's just a lot of good talent right now. But as far as when the playoffs starts, I believe once LeBron James and Anthony Davis is healthy, and if Drummond can get into the flow of things, they're coming out the West again. I mean, I think Jamal Murray hurting himself, getting an ACL tear. I think that hurts Denver's chances. Yeah. But we got to wait and see because the Clippers actually been flying under the radar, and Phoenix is really good as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised with Phoenix. I looked the other day in the standings, like, damn, they like the second seed?
Second seed in the West.
You believe in them, Jay? Chris Paul?
Yeah, Chris Paul.
You know what it is? They got a good team. I just think basketball is probably the fairest sport, excluding hockey. I just don't know as much.
Yeah.
But meaning because you gonna play 7 times.
7 times, yeah.
The best team gonna win. 99% of the time because y'all gonna play 7 times, right? And when you going through the regular season and people don't care, it's cool. When I got, like, as a coach, and Khaleed will tell you, when I got time to actually game plan for you and just you, you really got to show me what you got. Right? Because now I'm taking away some of your best options, and you got to out-coach me, or your players got to figure some shit out. Right? And I just think that when it comes to the Lakers, a healthy LeBron, a healthy Anthony Davis, 9 times out of 10 are going to be the best 2 players on the court. Yeah. Right? Like, not number 1 and number 3 or number 3 and number 5. Like, you put them up against the Clippers, right? Yeah. I'm taking LeBron over Kawhi, and I'm taking AD over Kawhi. Right? Just because of the positions that they're playing, what they're doing. Yeah. Like, period. Right? Like, and then you add all of the other intangible parts to them. Like, that Andre Drummond get for the Lakers was a gold find.
Yeah, I was hoping that he didn't go there. I was like, oh, shoot.
Oh, you're a Brooklyn Nets fan?
No, I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. Remember I told you about that? You're right. You know, so Mike is my boy, so I don't want to see LeBron, this whole LeBron Jordan talk. Every time he gets a championship, he gets closer. Some people already think LeBron is the GOAT, but
I'm a Jordan fan. I grew up a Jordan fan.
Me too.
So I'm biased.
Right? but so listen, LeBron never gonna pass Jordan because Jordan he did 6 chips in 8 years. And left the argument open that he could have won 8 and 8 if he didn't retire.
But a lot of people think because LeBron's going to be the all-time leading scorer. Yeah, three chips with 3 different teams.
At the end of the day, LeBron has longevity.
Yeah, longevity. Yeah,
you know, he's definitely Iron Man of the sport.
Yeah,
you understand? Even when he's hurt, he ain't really that hurt. He just be calculating. He like, all right, you know what? If we could muddle through these next 17 games, y'all win about 10 out of them, whatever the case may be, that would get me ready for the playoffs, and we do the late push. You know, I mean, as far as the IQ, I think his IQ is surpassed probably them all, besides maybe Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
You understand? Because the way that they're able to outthink and then be able to outperform their counterpart is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan was just... I think it was more will for Jordan than anything else. I think he put more fear into guys' heart that they weren't able to perform, where LeBron is basically just outperforming you because he's outthinking you.
Right.
You understand? So, Jordan will always be the GOAT, obviously. Come on, we can never say that, you know, because we've seen him come in 6 times and he left 6 times as a winner.
And a lot of guys don't have rings because of Jordan too. A lot of
Hall of Famers. You're absolutely right.
But if people say, a lot of people who like LeBron said Jordan played in a weak era, but they didn't really watch basketball and see how the East was really good back then.
Yo,
say Jordan played in a watered down NBA. The East was weak.
Jordan earned his way through it, right? Like,
with the bad boy days.
Jordan didn't, like, one of the reasons why, like, Magic career, Bird careers was cut short on that last end of the run is because of Mike.
Yeah.
And it was also, we're not beating him. Right? Like, you get, like, Jordan pretty much ended Magic career.
Yeah.
Ended Bird's career. He ended Isaiah Thomas' career.
Yeah.
Right, like Isaiah, they just won back-to-back champions. He ended that.
Once they got past, once they got past them.
Then he said, Pat Ewing not going to have a career. Clyde Drexler not going to have a career. Hakeem, that shit you did when I was gone was cute. You no longer have a career, right? And then the whole, Shaq, that shit was cute. Now you on pause.
Right.
Kobe, you on pause. Right? Like he Karl Malone, one of the best players there. Your shit is gone. Right, like Jordan ended a lot of careers, and what happens is when you that dominant, people forget how good you actually are,
right,
and they think your competition is weaker.
Yeah, like the Knicks couldn't get past Mike, Reggie Miller and them.
Right, like you got all these players, Ewing, Miller, all these great players. Right, like
and it was not even just great individual players. They had collective great teams. Look at those teams. If you go down and look at those rosters, they had some legit guys that come off the bench or even was in the starting line.
I think at one point the Knicks were the number 1 seed in the East one year, like 62-20 or something like that, and then the Bulls beat them.
That's right. Did you watch the documentary?
I watched some of it.
So that's a great
documentary. Last year runs.
I hope it never leaves.
That's a great documentary.
It's a great documentary.
All right, guys, I have to wrap it up here. So it was a pleasure having you guys on the show.
No problem, my brother.
Fellas. Got to bring you guys back on the show. Got to do this again.
Good seeing y'all, man. Good seeing y'all.
Same here.
All right, fellas. So this wraps up another episode of Face to Face. Yours truly, Nesta Can. Take care and God bless.
You already know.